Macmillan Audio presents The President's Brain is Missing by John Scalzi. Read for you by P.J. Ochlan. Deputy White House Chief of Staff Alexander Lipsyte walked through the doorway and into the Oval Office and was surprised that the President was not at his desk. "Where's the boss?" he asked. "He's out," said David Bohm, the Chief of Staff, holding a folder. "Close the door and sit down, Alex." Alex closed the door behind him and took a seat on the east-facing sofa, next to Secretary of State Mona Fitzgerald. Across from him on the west-facing sofa were National Security Advisor Brad Stein and Vice President Tony Hsu. Hsu's presence was unusual. The President had reverted to the formerly common practice of giving the Vice President absolutely nothing of any importance to do. Hsu spent most of his time visiting elementary schools and working on his putting. Hsu caught Alex's glance.
"If you think you're surprised, think how I feel,"
Vice President Hsu said. Alex grinned in spite of himself. "Now that we're all here, we can get started," Bohm said. "We have a situation. The President's brain is missing." No one in the room had anything to say to that. Finally, Alex spoke up. "I thought we all agreed to let Jon Stewart write his own jokes," he said. "God damn it, Alex, it's not a joke," Bohm said, and slapped down the folder he was carrying onto the table. Papers spilled out of it, including images of an X-ray and MRI, which featured a head with a blank brain cavity. Alex stared at them. Fitzgerald reached over and picked up the X-ray. "When were these taken?" she asked, holding up the photograph. 3 hours ago, Bohm said. "The X-ray and MRI both." "The President went to Walter Reed for these?" Fitzgerald asked. "No. Anil did them here, down in the bunker," Bohm said, referring to Anil Singh, the President's personal physician. "Once he figured out what was going on, he knew enough to keep it quiet."
"So the President is dead?"
Vice President Hsu said. "The President is fine," Bohm said. "He's in the residence, resting, per Anil's orders."
"But you said he's missing his brain,"
Hsu said. "He is," Bohm said. Hsu looked around at the others to see if he was the only one who was confused. He wasn't.
"Dave, I don't claim to be an expert on medical issues, but I'm pretty sure that not having a brain is a fatal condition," he said.
"It is," Bohm said.
"So you understand my confusion here,"
Hsu said. "I do," Bohm said. "Mr. Vice President, I have no answers for you at this time. All I know, all any of us know at the moment, are two things. One, the President is by all outward and most inward appearances entirely healthy for a 63-year-old man. Two, his brain is absolutely gone." "Dave," Alex said, "you might want to run us through the chronology of this." "The President woke up at 5:30 a.m., as he typically does, and went for his usual morning swim, at which point he noticed the first sign that something unusual was going on," Bohm said. "Which was?" Fitzgerald asked. "He couldn't submerge his head," Bohm said. "Any time he tried to put his head under, it would pop back up like a cork." In spite of himself, Alex grinned at the mental image of the most powerful man in the world trying to push his head under the water of the White House swimming pool and failing. "Later in the shower, he felt light-headed," Bohm continued. "So he called Anil for a consult. Anil arrived at 7:30, met with the President in the residence, and then took him into the bunker for the X-ray and the MRI, whereupon he discovered that the President's cranial cavity was entirely vacant." "How is the President taking the news?" Alex asked. "He's not," Bohm said. "Anil didn't tell him." "Why not?" Fitzgerald asked. "You have to ask that, Mona?" Bohm asked.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?